When a fire alarm sounds, you must leave the building immediately. Walk calmly to your nearest exit. Do not stop to collect personal belongings. Do not wait for others. Go straight to your designated assembly point. Wait for help to arrive. Fires take hold in a matter of minutes. It's vital you act calmly and quickly. And stay safe at uni. Most fires start in student kitchens when cooking is left unattended. Fireman Dave Tate demonstrates.
The pan's actually been ignited as if we've got some oil in the grill pan. We're getting a bit more severe as the heat is starting to pick up. Plumes of smoke reaching ceiling height now, and that's going to spread across the ceiling and the temperature will then start to increase. This type of fire can develop in just a couple of minutes. It's very hot in the compartment now and the smoke level has dropped even further down. It won't be the flames that will be killing you, it will be the smoke and the fumes. Okay, we're going to have to withdraw now as it's getting to a dangerous level where we're going to have to get a crew in to extinguish the fire as it's developed beyond control.
In your accommodation, you are not only responsible for your own safety, but also for the safety of the people you live with. Here are some simple steps you can take to avoid a fire starting in your accommodation.
Okay, so here we are in a typical student's kitchen, and as we look across and we go to the cooker, which is one source of ignition, we can straight away see the tea towel left on top of the cooker. So it's important that these things are not left on cookers, they're placed in a safer environment or in a cupboard. The most common thing that we seem to come across is the grill pan. But you can see it slowly building up, and we do get sometimes where this is an excessive loading of fat there. And if not cleaned, the fat will build up. If it's left unattended, we will then get a fire occurring. The hygiene is not really the issue. The issue in fire safety is that there is a build-up of a source of fuel, which in this case is fat. And once this fat gets to a significant temperature, it will just spontaneously burst into flame. We always hear about the bread being jammed in the toaster, creating smoke. As we said before, the heat detector in the kitchen won't do anything about it, but then as soon as the doors open to the kitchen, out goes the smoke into the corridor and bang, we get an unwanted signal. One of the most serious issues that you can come across is now the detector head being covered up by a plastic bag. The equipment that's designed to give the early warning not only to the occupant but to other occupants of the block that a fire has been discovered cannot work. Okay, here we have it. Fire door keep shut, a common sign that you see on lots of doors in all student accommodation blocks. It's imperative that you follow that instruction. This door is there for your safety. Here we have a typical fire point that may be actually provided in your hall of residence. The most important part about this is to understand that these are here for safety reasons. If these extinguishers have been tampered, this small fire now is going to intensify into a large fire, and you can now start to lose parts of the block, which could also incur you losing parts of your personal belongings. Okay, well that's the tour of a typical student accommodation block where we've just really touched on most of the common fire hazards that you can come across and what we can do to prevent those turning into either actual fires or unwanted signals. So all we ask now is that you apply common sense, and then that keeps you safe and us happy.
So remember, never leave cooking unattended. Do not wedge fire doors open, they must be kept shut. Never tamper with smoke detectors or firefighting equipment. Ensure you know your evacuation route and assembly point. Banned items at your university include chip pans or the use of oils in saucepans, deep fat fryers, heaters, electric blankets, grills of any kind, candles or incense sticks, rice cookers or slow cookers, socket cube adapters, barbecue equipment, additional or extra refrigerators, fireworks, additional microwaves, additional furniture. Fairlights are restricted to bedrooms only.
Each hall's residence will have a fire action notice that's specific for that building. Make sure you read and understand the instructions. Each fire action notice will display a pictorial diagram showing where the assembly point is in relation to your building. If you discover a fire, shout fire and immediately operate a fire alarm call point. These are usually located by the exit door. Once outside, call the caretaker on a dedicated phone number. This will be written on the fire action notice as 01243 816 147 for Chichester or 01243 812 184 for Bognor. If dialling 999, state fire at University of Chichester, College Lane or University of Chichester, Upper Bognor Road and say which hall's residence requires assistance. On hearing the alarm, evacuate the premises immediately using the nearest signposted exit. Do not stop to collect your belongings. Do not re-enter the building and do not use any lifts. Make your way to the designated assembly point and await further instruction. Please treat all fire alarms as a real incident. Knowing what to do and how to behave can save lives. The university will arrange at least one fire drill per semester. This is to check whether fire alarm systems are working and if any behaviour issues arise. If you have a mobility issue that may prevent you from hearing an alarm or vacating a building, you are advised to speak to Student Services, who will provide a personal emergency evacuation plan specific to your needs. Smoke inhalation is a bigger killer than the fire itself. This is why it is important that fire doors remain closed. This action alone will reduce the spread of smoke. Fire alarms can be very disorientating, especially at night whilst in bed. Experience suggests that you should keep practical footwear and a dressing gown close by to put on so that a rapid evacuation is not prevented by searching around for clothing. On picking up your keys to your accommodation, you will be given a fire safety pamphlet that explains additional fire safety information. Please take the time to read this. If living off campus, the topics raised in this film will also be relevant. However, please check with your landlord on your individual evacuation procedure. In the meantime, if you have a question that has not been answered in this film, please contact the Health and Safety Department by email to healthandsafety@chi.ac.uk
or telephone 01243 816 000 and ask for the Health and Safety Office.
Alternatively, for all other accommodation queries, please contact accommodation@chi.ac.uk
or telephone 01243 816 000 and ask for the Accommodation Office.
If you have a disability problem that you feel may affect your safety during an evacuation, please contact Student Support on disability@chi.ac.uk
or telephone
01243 816 000
and ask for the Student Disability Office.
Within 2 minutes, the whole of this area has been ignited and the cloud of smoke has got to the ceiling level, gone across and then come back down again. All this lot here, as we know, can be replaced, but you can't be replaced.